Hello everyone, welcome back. I have no idea what's going on with the connection at the moment because it seems to be a bit funny. It might be my fault. Oh, in fact it is. I love the way my Steam account was downloading stuff at the same time, so that's why the stream is a little bit laggy, so I'll try and just cancel that out for the moment. That way I can actually have a decent stream. Okay. We'll get the link here and we'll share it around. Okay. So I'm going to be going ahead and trying to get most of this working now. And instead of having it blocked out, we'll actually have it done properly. So we've got the remains of the Judgment Hall here. We're going to get the new version of it. So we'll do append, Blender files, and we're going to append the EX2 version of the Judgment Hall. So we're going to need to do new collection, Judgment Hall EX. X being extra file, because I just need one so it's all done properly. So we got all the details here. There's the Judgment Hall. So I should now be able to grab all of this, and away we go. The thing is, what is all of this over here? Rigid body constraints. Right, let's get rid of them. Don't need that. I can delete that. So many different things here. So you can grab all this stuff. Wait a minute. I thought I just deleted all the rigid body constraints. Oh, rigid body world. Okay. That can go as well. Those will be from tutorial. So what we're going to do is just grab all of this here and hopefully that's good. And then we can just rotate this. Some people are going to be like, dude, why is this all in ruins textures? But I'm doing that for the moment and then I can just change everything later on. Love the way I can just drag the entire Judgment Hall over here now into place. Okay. So what I need to do is just have this one be moved out of the way. Where is it? There we go. That's the remade one. So instead we'll do that. And then the idea is we'll just place this roughly where we need it. And then we can get rid of the textures that we don't need and stuff later on. I might actually place it a little bit further back because that would be really cool. Just trying to get this right here in terms of distance. Oh, that'll do. So this is going to be really cool to have this on its own like rock plateau here, basically. But as you can see, we got the Judgment Hall in there, even with the Monster Soul represented at the top. That's going to be using the same textures as everything else. And then we've got... We need more area down here for New Home. That's going to be evident. But we've got this here, which is going to be the wall, which I'm going to detail later on. What I'm going to do is have this be crumpled. So the idea is that it's going to be broken, and I'm going to need to move some of these buildings. It's a good job. I'm going to build the rest of the ground floor later on. But the idea is that this is going to be like a bridge or something that's crumpled away. And then we're going to have a path that leads back down to here. And then I can have like these little areas around here. So the idea being that this is kind of like a different sort of side route that you have to walk around. We've got base geo here, which is, let's just check this. Yeah. So if I do like cliff face here, where's the base geo for that one? There we go. If I do like a cube here, where did that actually put that cube then? I have no clue where to put that, but we'll put this on the base geo. Just do cube. And we should be good. Because what I'm trying to do is, again, follow the geometry as much as possible from the actual official map. So we got this thing going on here. I reckon if I do this kind of thing. Hello, Not Lost. How you doing? If I do this kind of thing with the Judgment Hall, just raise this up slightly. This is gonna look like a freaking Zelda stage by the time I'm done, but I mean, kind of suits with the reference I was using, so. So yeah, we got this kind of thing going on. That's gonna come all the way down here, so we got this massive cliff. I'll just put it down here for now. And the idea is that where the Judgment Hall is, it's kind of fallen away a little bit. And so's this here. So the only way you can really get through it is to go through. What I'll even do here is like manipulate this so it looks like it's been falling apart. Same as, actually I can do that now. If I do loop cuts here, I can do that there. Do that there and have it look like it's fallen away. We do this a little bit. And then we just bring this out a little bit here. Kind of do that a little bit here. The idea being that it's going to look like it's own plateau that's kind of on its own, doing its own thing. Again, when I flesh this out a little bit more, it'll look so much better. A bit like when I did Heartland. But the idea being that we'll have this here, and then we have the walk from the Judgment Hall, which is going to be another one of probably these sort of step sections. Or even a rock section might be better. We'll have this look like it's broken off in between. Hey, Revenge! Thanks for stopping by last night, by the way. I just needed to get the content done, so I wasn't ignoring you. Here's where the interesting bit's gonna come out, right? So we've got all this block out for the Judgment Hall, which is over here, and we're gonna have the castle over here. The cave wall is gonna be here. At least that's the idea at the moment. But we shall find out now, so let's do castle, right? We're gonna bring in the castle and see what happens. Bam. And none of this is remotely named correctly, so I'm gonna have to name that. Look how big the castle is compared to the rest of New Home. That is nuts. So if we rotate that, I love the way we have Jeff in here as well now with Bishop Sands and Pope Nine. So the idea is we're going to have the castle at the end here. And it's going to be on its own little rock face. So again, we gotta raise this thing up as high as it can go. Think about there is going to be good. Roughly. And then we're going to move it back a little bit. And it can be on its own little rock face as well. And we're going to have the city have to extend here. But essentially that's what it's going to look like. So when we come in here from the elevator, we're going to be able to see all of New Home, including the castle in the distance, which is going to be really cool because the idea is then that we walk down across the battlements and we go past all the lifts and everything. We get to see them. We go through the towers, which are left over. I might even have to do this bit as like a bridge where we can see everything underneath here until they meet the cliff wall. And then we go through Asgores. We come out underneath Asgores. And then we just go around the Judgment Hall because the area being broken here. And then to the castle. So that makes sense to me, and then have the barrier here. That personally makes sense and follows the map pretty well. And then we just have the civilization of the monsters extend. We'll have like another portcullis over here. We'll have this be another cave wall. This is just gonna be one massive cave. I don't know whether to extend this a little bit more. Probably will. I'm gonna be basing a lot of the lower geometry off some more artwork that I found. But what I need to do really is get these things named, get cliff faces done, and get everything set up. So for here, we're gonna have another box. And that's gonna be the castle cliff, the one that obviously, like I was saying before, the castle sits on. Kind of like with Heartland, the idea being that these areas of importance sit elevated from everything else. About there. And then we'll do this kind of thing. The idea is I'm going to do like another little bridge, like rock bridge there, or something that juts out. And then we're going to stop it here. That's where the edge is going to be, the very edge of New Home. So I'm going to bring out these edges just a little bit so the castle's got more to sit on. And then we'll build off of that. So there we go. From over here, that actually looks really cool. Gives us an idea of what we're working with. Okay. I think I've now got to decide on where this cliff face is going to be. So, what I'll do is I'll grab a box and then just do that. But yeah, this is looking really cool at the moment. If I make the walls really tall, like the concept art, that's going to be nuts. And then doing the interior and stuff is going to be so much fun. I think, let's try and plan this out, right? So if I do the wall kind of like here, we just bring that round. The idea being that over here we need to make it a little bit interesting, so we'll have it follow the rest of the wall here. But when it gets to here, that's where we'll deviate a little bit and have it so we can actually have some detail around the Judgment Hall. Because I can put these buildings anywhere now, right? So we can give the Judgment Hall a little bit of room. We can also add some really cool decorations around there. And then what we'll do is when we get to the castle, we'll have the wall come around here and just about touch the edge of the throne room there. And then we'll have this extend outwards. And just keep going a little bit. So this is going to go on for quite a while. The idea being that we can have that there, have a portcullis here, or even over here, to show that the monsters are going to go down to different locations. And then for the height, we can have this sort of a thing going on, where we make that really tall. That's really, really tall. We can even make it taller if we want. The idea being that we're going to get light coming in and hitting the Judgment Hall, Asgore's home, and here specifically, and the barrier is going to be just behind here. So we're going to have a small cabin back here for the barrier. The idea being that this is going to be like the corridor for the barrier. Oh. Let's save that for a moment. Now I can go ahead and start detailing this, or rather getting the names for everything. So that'll be throne room roof. Throne room roof detail 1. Oh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I've already detailed this for the what I'm going to do plan-wise. I'll just get the eraser and just yoink. Hi, Zoe. That's going to be I came here for Undertale, to Zoe. Oh, you'll be getting Undertale. There we go. That'll be roof upper trim detail. I've got to name all these, so. Where did the coat come from? That was from a story the other day. It's a story that I told the other day about from when I was in college and university. But yeah, that's Jeff. Jeff is awesome. I'm half tempted to include jokes from both college and university in the animation just for a laugh. Throne room wall. Jeff is wholesome. So yeah, to summarize Jeff is a bottle of Coke with a smiley face. But yeah. And the sign is meant to be a sticky note, but it's a sign now. We've upgraded. Memes drew that for me, so I'm really happy. Oh. Okay. There we go. Throne room. Window 1. I've just got to name all these. So that everything is in the right place. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. 4. 5. 6. Pepsi Sands versus Cola Frisk. I'm gonna make a drawing and post it on my community someday, says Zoe. It's gonna be funny to see how everybody takes the animation. You know, when it's done. I can't wait for this update though, because like the whole point of today is to try and get all of this organized, and then we can texture everything and then do the cliff walls and everything. I'll show you now. 11. So that's all the throne room area detailed. I think I've even done the lower details. I just need that door in there to be done, which is no problem. Because I've been trying to plan out the interior as well, because the interior is going to be another set. But I'll do that in a moment. I've got people talking to me on Discord as well. Okay. Like, typing on Discord here at the same time, so I'm sorry if anyone's like, dude, you got awfully quiet all of a sudden. It's like, I don't mean to. So, yeah, what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you a little run through at the moment of New Home. Bearing in mind, this is using the ruins textures, and the reason why it's using the ruins textures is just because it's a little bit of a placeholder, so when I come to actually change everything, it'll just all look the same because I'm going to be using the same material. So where we start from is over here. I just need to get within range here. So we start from about here. And as you can see, we got all the buildings and everything else around us. We're going to have some more over here. But the idea is we walk along the battlements, which obviously I'm still doing. Zoe says, me in the morning. Hey, you might not stream right now. And I'm listening to music also, me watching stream. So we go at the battlements. The save area is going to be around here. And then we go over here. There's another lift, right? And then we've got Asgore's house over here, so we're going to walk all the way along the battlements. Toriel's in here as well as a placeholder. Go all the way along the battlements. And we can still see the Judgment Hall and the castle from over here. We're going to be able to see some more buildings down here in the cave walls. Going to go along the side. And here we got to Asgore's. Asgore's is the first area to be on this raised plateau. The reason for this is kind of like with Heartland. I just thought it'd be really cool to have the main areas of importance be up on these giant rock formations to keep in line with the whole thing of this being inside of a cave still. Because otherwise, plateaus made out of bricks is kind of weird. So you can see all the rest of the New Home from above here. We're going to go into Asgore's place. And I'm not going to show off all of that because of spoilers. But then, with Asgore's bit, after we've come down here, come round here, I need to fix quite a lot of this. But as you can see, we come round here, we come out, and here's where we're going to see the castle, and we've still got the Judgment Hall in the distance. So we can see everything. That's one of the main things to focus on, is the simple fact of we need to be able to see everything and get a grand sense of scale from it. So this shows you, like, it's still far off in the distance, but it's also showing all of the buildings still around. Again, I'm going to add more buildings and lots of details, so it's going to be a lot better than what it is now. Because, at the time, these walls were very basic. I'm going to base them on the castle walls. So by the time I've linked all this together, it'll all be thematically correct. But yeah, the idea is that we come out of here, and this is all going to be like a cave area. We come out, we progress along here. We're going to have another one of the elevators or lifts here. We can even go inside. This is the same one that I used for the True Lab. But anyway, we come out, and we've got the Judgment Hall. And the way that the Judgment Hall works is, again, it's on its own cliff edge. The idea being that this was once connected to each other, but it's now broken and fallen away. So the only way of getting to the castle now is by going through the Judgment Hall. I'm going to make it so that this, even though it looks pretty close and you can just walk around, I'm going to make it so it looks like it's fallen away. So the idea being that you have to go through the Judgment Hall, all the way through the Judgment Hall here. Not going to spoil any of that. And then we go down here, and we can see everything from over there still. We can see the Judgment Hall. We can even see the really cool details. Well, I just noticed the music has turned off. We're going to go down here, straight towards the castle. The castle's, again, on its own little cliff ledge that's going to be connected to the rock face at the back. The idea being that once we get here, we can turn around and see everything from where we've just come from, including the monster soul on the Judgment Hall, which is a nice little detail. We're going to have like a hole in the roof over here that's shining light onto the key places. And then we're going to be able to go into New Home. But the idea being that New Home's castle is always looming and looks detailed. And when we go up to it, we can see like the stairs and everything from the inside. We can see a lot of little details that make New Home look really cool. I might even do a shot from like back here just to show Frisk walking, along here so we can see the battlements, or even from like here. Show like Frisk walking out of Asgore over there, or walking up towards the Judgment Hall or something, just from the battlements. I may do that, I'm not too sure. But either way, I'm going to include like a lot of rock faces. It's going to look really cool. I just need to finish up here. Just talking on Discord at the same time. Moody, did you hear the news? What news, memes? Undertale Yellow is releasing on December the 9th. Oh, that's the really huge fan game, right? I might have to play that. Because I've heard about Yellow before. It's been in development for ages. Oh, yeah. I with Justice. I mean Clover. Yellow was supposed to be it's the cowboy themed one, right? It's the one with the gun. Because I know you've sent me the image of it, the artwork. Memes, because you just showed up, I'll show you the walkthrough, like the proto walkthrough of New Home at the moment as well. When I've looked at these DMs. Oh, that looks awesome. I really love that style, it's so good. Hotline 3.0, I have not slept. Oh my god. You need to take better care of yourself, and that's coming from me, the person that didn't used to take care of themselves. I've really been excited. Yeah, well, you've got to wait till like December the 9th, You got a long wait. But yeah, here we go. Moody. Yes? There's excited, and then there's like looking after yourself until it comes out, like you've got me hyped now. So, I'm going to show you the fruits of the labor so far. This will be like the third time I've done this, but it's going to make sense. You ain't got the rights to judge me. No, I'm not judging. I'm just trying to look after people. You just got to look after yourself, Purple building, indeed. So, at the moment, what are you, my dad? I'm just trying to be nice. Oh. Oh, okay. At least I can take this all as a good joke. The dad that left, oh no! I'm back with milk and cigarettes. Tell your mother I said hi. No. Anyway. So, we're using the textures from the ruins at the moment, just because I wanted to do those as placeholders. Hi, Blair! You okay, Blair? Anyways, Purple Building. I joined to the most sus of things. No, it's all good. We're just joking. So, Blair, you can have a look at this as well if you can stick around for like 5 minutes or so. We're going to do a full walkthrough, and I'm going to go over the reasons behind the way that this is at the moment. So, we're going to show you proto New Home at the moment. And the reason why I say proto is because if you saw me when I was doing Hotland and I was sculpting all of the rock faces, that's pretty much all that I've got to do, and the texturing and little bits here and there. Like, for instance, for anyone that's been around and saw me do the castle, which is in the distance, you'll know that in the past couple of days, I did a lot of detailing on the castle walls. That's stuff which will then affect these walls. So these walls, as you can see, are very basic. I'm going to do these walls pretty much like the castle ones, so I'll show you the castle ones when we get to them. But the reason why everything is purple is because I did these with the ruins textures that I had at the time. I'm going to desaturate the living daylights out of them, and they'll look better later on. The idea is that these are all using the same textures for now. So if I apply those to everything and then desaturate them and reapply them, it'll change everything. So I won't have to do multiple textures and detailing over and over and over again. So it's just a quick way of doing it. But anyway, we've got all the buildings here. A lot of this stuff will change to look a little bit more like the artwork that I've been referencing, so it won't just be like hills that constantly go down and look staggered, kind of like we've got at the moment. This is just kind of a bare bones basic setup to get an idea of what it could look like. But yeah, that's what I mean by proto for this bit. There's going to actually be like roads and walls and things, which sounds like a lot, but it's not going to be. Not compared to what I've been doing. So anyway, we come out from down below from Metaton's place here. This is going to be one of the lifts or the elevators, depending on where you're from. I need to actually change that so that the floor isn't clipping through there. But we come out here and we immediately see the rest of New Home. The cool thing about this, and that I wanted in my notes ages ago, was New Home needs to feel big, but you also need to be able to see everything so that you know that the distance you are walking is big. You know, it represents the entire journey. It makes everything just look grand. At this point, it's basically like walking into Disneyland and being like, whoa, you know. Some of these walls are not finished, obviously, because of me blocking everything out. So again, these aren't the right height. They're going to be done later on. But the idea is we walk along here. We walk up the battlement. That was inspired by Final Fantasy 15. Then we get here, and here's where the first save point is going to be. I actually need to import that in a moment. But the save point's going to be here and be glowing. And then we turn, and we've got the other elevator. And as you can see, we can see where we've come from. We can see all the cool buildings. That's going to be really neat. And then we walk along here. We can see Asgores from over here. The idea being that Asgores is going to be on this rock plateau, very similar to the Judgment Hall and New Home in the distance there. I just wanted there to be remains of like the interior of the cavern still there, so it kind of made everything feel like it was fleshed together. You know, like, so this is going to be like a bridge with some giant archways on so we can get buildings underneath maybe, or roads or whatever. But it's going to be all connected, kind of like Hotland was. So I'm going to have to sculpt those rock faces individually. That's going to be fun. Damon says, did you get a Coke sponsorship? Yeah, that's Jeff. That's Jeff. From The Stories. Thanks, memes, for that. This is looking awesome so far right now. It's going to look better when I've got it properly done. For reference, here's how big Toriel is. But yeah, that's the walk from the start. And this is the two towers that you walk between. I don't know whether they're going to have bells on them or not, because I don't want too many bell towers, but you've got to remember this is randomly generated as well. I could just take the bells out of the towers. We'll see. But the idea is we walk along to Asgores here, and I wanted Asgores to have this kind of like look to it, where it was a little bit more blocked off than Toriel's, where Toriel's is more enclosed in the ruins because I've made them feel like catacombs, as they mention in the dialogue. Asgores is elevated above everything else, so he can see everyone, but it's out in the open, but he's got that privacy of that wall, right? Meme says, I'm going to get something real quick, BRB. Okay, I'll wait. I'll drop some little information nuggets while I'm here. Like the fact that this gate is literally remade from the same one for Beauty and the Beast from Kingdom Hearts. So it's all in 3D though. The one from Kingdom Hearts wasn't in 3D, it was like a 2D texture. This is all 3D, which has like little hearts all over it and has the Delta rune obviously in the center there. I really wanted to throw out the Delta rune, not too much, but just enough that it makes sense. So yeah, we got this Beauty and the Beast inspired look for the front of Asgore's garden, which is it still needs to be obviously fleshed out a little bit more. Like it's got the leaves in here for the bare bones basics, But yeah, that's why Asgore's front garden looks a little bit familiar, is because it takes heavy inspiration from Beauty and the Beast, which is one of the Disney films that I like from the golden era. Just wait for memes to get back. And then we can continue, because Asgore's place was something that we worked out over a while, and now it makes sense. The idea being with Asgore's is that it's on this rock plateau, but because it's falling away, he gets that privacy of having that front garden, and then everything else, more or less, is going to be like really close to the edge here when I sculpt it. So he's going to have a little bit of like a back garden here or whatever, but you just can't get to it from the front. Meaning he still has that privacy, and he can still go out and do whatever he wants. But yeah, nobody else can really get to it. He's elevated as well, so you can see everything else like from over here. You can look out over his kingdom if he ever comes back to his house. I was going to include windows over here, which are in the living room, the kitchen, but I ended up not doing, because when I tried boxing it in there, I didn't want to just boolean through the wall. I actually wanted to plan it correctly. But the way that I've done the front windows and everything, I was going to copy that, and it just didn't really work well. You'll see what I mean in a moment. We'll wait for memes to get back. But yeah, we can see Jeff at the side of the stream as well. For anyone who doesn't know about Jeff, it's just a funny story from ages ago that I keep telling everybody. And I think I'll have Jeff as like a meme somewhere. I'm thinking of putting most of these memes like in the lab or something, like having them hidden on the walls or on Alphys's computer. It's why we also have what is essentially a small AU of the Vatican Church going on as well. That's just a joke, but it's turned into its own mini AU, so we're thinking of having it as one of Alphys's fan fictions. Just as a laugh. Which means I've now got to credit people for artwork and stuff that will be used. Well, more artwork, I should say. So that's going to be fun to put in the credits. But yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait till we get memes back here so we can continue this journey. I actually like looking at everything in first person like this because it gives you a grand sense of scale, including the fact that Toriel's like this high and Frisk is like this high on Toriel. So look at how big all this is to Frisk. It's nuts. It's definitely having that massive scale to it. It's gonna be cool when we get over to the Judgment Hall and New Home Castle over there, which I was just slowly naming everything on it so I knew what everything was. But yeah, I'll go over the reasons why it's like this in a moment when memes is back, and we'll go over all the ideas and things. I love all these like little details through textures and things, and when it's all lit up correctly, it's just gonna pop so well. Those gates are gorgeous. Thank Beauty and the Beast for that, because like, no joke, I really wanted to have some of that influence. I think it worked well kind of with Asgore and Toriel's relationship. So I was like, or at least the architecture worked, so I was like, yeah, we'll just go with that, you know. But yeah, I absolutely love these gates as well. Like you can see the little hearts inside the side details here. Like this is all in 3D, so I can go up to it and look at it. I'm thinking of making the gates in gold or maybe silver. I don't know. Gold would work, but I feel like silver is gonna match the desaturated tone of everything. But there's lots of little details like that that really really help sell the entire atmosphere. Zoe says, not me playing Javelin, a Roblox game. Yeah, we got all of that, and then we got these like little loops here. And then the Delta rune that has all the bits stuck onto it, and then it's pierced through with the bars. Just waiting for memes to get back. We've also got the bits up here, which are really cool. I'm just checking that's not clipping there. No, it's not. These are all bits that I had to do with, I think it was the curve tool. And then I just copied some more of that for later on. They're so clean. It's going to be good showing off this in 3D, like having Frisk coming up like as a shot from like over here or something, and we'll have like more buildings just around to the side a little bit. I actually need to put like a top on these so that it's not warped, or just put a different texture on there, because I still need to finish off quite a lot of these textures and things, which is what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days, and just building up all the rock faces and everything. But it'd be cool to kind of have this shot from up above to show Frisk walking up to the gates, and then have like a shot from the side where they get pushed open, or even from the front like this. The cool thing about modeling everything in 3D like this is the obviousness of being able to see everything and get a sense of scale. It's something that I'm going to mention again when we get to like the castle and the walk up to the castle. But just as an example, you can only just see the chimney from Asgore's place over here, which is in the correct place. I need to actually continue the stairway as well, which is inspired by Final Fantasy 15. That's going to continue down there, so you can actually get down to the civilization below. But you can even see Asgore's chimney from over here. So like, it gives you a proper sense of realism and scale, which is so cool. Oh, I might have to do this for memes again, because I've not seen memes come back yet. No. So anyway, I'll go ahead and do some details on New Home, as in like I'll go over and show you what's been going on. So the problem we had with New Home originally was Asgore's house, and it was that I couldn't figure out what the heck was going on with the roof until I found reference, which I've mentioned on stream before. Oh, memes is back as well. Oh, this is great. Great timing. So yeah, before I couldn't figure out how to do Asgore's. I just realized I'm going to move that view window here. Let's just do this. And then we'll just... And then we can continue on with the walk through New Home. So yeah, for anyone who didn't see what the trouble was with Asgore's place, we were trying to figure out how we could make it look like a house and have it set up like this on the side of a cliff, because you don't really see the tops of the houses in Undertale. The maps are obviously way too big, so the interiors don't match the exteriors, and it definitely doesn't match Temmie's concept art tutorials originally. I remember reading notes that said something along the lines of they didn't properly plan it out in-game, so they just ended up using the ruins tile set, so I got to work within that and then try and come up with something myself. And what made sense was literally just Google searching Longhouse and found something that looked pretty much like this, except that it had like a barn attached to the side of it and stuff. But after I found that, my brain was like, oh yeah, I'm totally fine with that, because after I'd seen a Longhouse in real life, my brain was like, oh, I'll accept that, because normally you see houses and they're pretty square, whereas obviously when you look at this from above, it's just a giant L shape. Or even if you look at it from this shape, this part, it's kind of like a really tiny letter R with the front garden on it. But yeah, the design for the house was really unconventional and it only works in the form of an RPG. And when I tried actually doing the house any other way, which I'll go into real quick, when I tried doing it any other way, it just looked scuffed. Like, we're going to throw up Asgore's old house so I can show you how scuffed it looked. Where is it? I think it was... Is it that one? Asgore's house.blend? Ah, yeah, it was. So, here's where I was trying to make Asgore's house into an actual, like, house that you could go into in, like, real life. The idea being that I had to mess around with some of the layout. So, on the interior here, we've got stuff like, I've changed the living room so that it's now at a 90-degree angle, and you have all the stuff on the inside, and then the windows over here. I was changing stuff so much, but it didn't seem right anyway. I got the kitchen there. And then I was thinking, how am I going to change upstairs? And I was taking cues from Deltarune and being like, okay, we go upstairs here, and we've got this massive landing with all the doors on and everything. and we've got enough for like Asgore's tutorials, the kids' room. It was kind of making sense, but when you try and line up all the windows on like all the floors, it was just too much hassle. And I was just like, you know what, it's not going to be familiar, because another key point that I like hitting is making this as close to the source art as possible, or the game, because then it makes sense to everybody that's played the game, and it needs to feel familiar. So if I'd have had to change Asgore's place, I would have had to change tutorials as well, because the whole thing of you get that sense of familiarity when you go back to New Home later on. It's a big kicker for anybody emotionally, you know. So it's like coming here and seeing it be a different layout would just screw everything up. So it's like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do that then. So I'm not going to go inside properly with all the details, but we do have the downstairs here. Do I need to fix the... I need to fix the floor here, because that shouldn't be there. Don't know why it is, but we'll fix that anyway. So we come down here. This is all under the rest of the house in the rock face that I still need to fix. You can tell because all the textures are screwed. But then we come out here, and this is where it gets interesting. When we come out here, we get to see the castle and the Judgment Hall. And this is what I was on about before in terms of sense of scale and feeling how big the underground is from this kind of point of view. Like, it's going to be cool having a shot here and having Frisk walk on, because it just looks massive. The idea being it should be imposing, it should give you the same impression that you get from the castle in Waterfall, where you look at it and go, okay, that's where we're going. So you get a sense of knowing where you're going to end up, but you can also see the journey that you've taken to get there and where you have to go still. So you get a giant sense of scale here, including all the buildings and everything else. We're going to have some over this side as well, and then the cliff wall, or the cave wall that's going to go up here, and then we're going to have like a hole in the ceiling to let light in. Over here, obviously I still need to fix this up, because you can actually see through the cliff face, but I want this to be kind of like a cave that's been hollowed out there from Asgore, so that you can get onto this bridge part here. The idea being this is going to be a bridge or long walkway or battlement that goes straight to New Home, or at least originally did go to the castle. We got the lift place that I actually need to put in here. The idea being is that there's only one way that you can really go, and that's through the Judgment Hall. Reason being is I'm going to have this look as if it's broken off due to age or wear and tear. I'm going to have it look as though this raised plateau here is the same. It's pretty broken and close to the edge here. This is just a very bare bones block out. Pretty much like I did with Heartland, where I sculpted all the models for that in terms of the rock faces. It's going to be the same. So the idea being that we then go through the Judgment Hall. The Judgment Hall is based on a lot of designs for like churches and the Temple of Time from Zelda, because it just made sense. Again, it's purple instead of grey because of placeholder stuff for the moment. It will be greyed out or heavily desaturated later on. But as you can see, that's to scale. I'm not going to show you the inside because that will spoil it quite a lot. But the exterior is really cool here, including the fact that we now have windows at this side, and we have a monster soul on the top here as a little nod to, you know, the monsters, of course. I made this as a design for a battlement for the castle, and I couldn't use it anywhere else on the castle. It just didn't work with what I was trying to do, so I was like, yeah, I'll put it there as like a little emblem instead of the Delta rune, so that's pretty cool. So then we come out here, we're gonna have another rock face that allows us to get back on this new path that's been made. We're gonna meet back up over here and walk towards the castle. And the castle's going to look massive with the wall behind it. We're going to, again, have some light shining in from the roof over here that's going to hit the castle and shine through the throne room at the back. And then, as we get closer, the castle's going to be on its own plateau, which goes a little bit further round. But really, it's its own structure, and we're going to have a couple of like smaller rock structures going around, but this is where the edge of the cave is going to be that extends all the way around here. And as you can see the rest of New Home from here. You know, so the idea being that you can see exactly where we've come from, which is all the way over there, through Asgore's place, through the Judgment Hall, looking out over all of Monster Civilization, just like you expect from the game, and then straight to the front door of the castle, which you can see a little bit of the details. Not all of them, but just enough to kind of show you that it's a working castle with battlements and everything, of which these battlements will be the same as the ones here. So I've got to do those details later on. But then a cool detail last night that I included was the door knockers on the castle doors are literally monster soul hearts. So that's really cool. I like that. The idea being is that we're going to do a cutaway to another scene, and the other scene is literally going to be the interior, which is going to make more sense than this. So I'm going to do a little cheat there with that. But yeah, I love details like that, like the door knockers being monster souls, because it just makes sense, you know, thematically. I love that, says Blur. So we've got all of that. We've got the Delta runes. Hang on. It's hard to see because of the lighting. We'll do it in grayscale instead so I can show you this. So if we go through here, and I can show the details off, because I know Blur hasn't seen some of the castle details. So we've got the Delta rune on the top here. This is all done by one of the artists. It's on Twitter. I'm going to have to put them in the credits later anyway, but I can't remember the name totally off the top of my head. It was on my phone, but I don't have my phone on me. It's downstairs charging. But yeah, we've got this massive castle that was essentially their artwork that I just copied and made into 3D. And by that, I mean I just blocked it out in 3D. So this is their design for the castle, and I've just gone ahead and detailed it as well as I could. A lot of these details, they make sense, but I've just not filled them in just enough that you can believe that there's a load of rooms in here, like the stairways and stuff. But obviously I've not gone to the crazy length of detail, as in like detailing absolutely everything, only areas that we're going to see, even though we've got clipping though, which I'm going to need to cut out. The overall design is like really cool. I've even included little bits here, like there's this fake interior. Kind of reminds me of Spyro a little bit. We've got a doorway here that I'm going to put like some sort of door frame there. And then we go up here, we've got another door leading in there that's going to go to different rooms. And then that leads into the tower. Just all makes sense. I really like this version of New Home. Not just because, you know, I made it in 3D, but also because I was complaining about this the other night and saying a lot of people that do model New Home, they just don't think too much about different things like entrances, windows, where stuff is actually placed, you know, so it would make sense. Instead, they'll do things like they'll put a giant dome in the center and then put like the Judgment Hall in there. And while that does make sense for the Judgment Hall to be in the castle grounds, at the same time, it's like they'll put the Judgment Hall right smack bang where I've put the entrance hall. You know, so it made no sense to my brain, and I was just like, you know, trying to understand it. And you'll get what I mean if you've seen the Hotland stuff, or if you know about the Hotland joke, which was essentially me going into massive amounts of detail as to how Hotland works. If you look at the map and try and do something that follows the map extremely closely. It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not throwing shade at anybody, I'm not being nasty. Again, it's that whole thing that a lot of people have said, which is trying to convert the 2D maps into 3D levels or 3D things that follow the artwork exactly is so hard, which is why a lot of this has me just like, most of the time, because it makes my brain feel like it's going to explode. Anyway, we got all these towers and everything, which technically wouldn't work because of the weight bearing on the roof, but we don't care about that. It fits within the context of having the 3 towers on the top, which reflects the artwork from the original game and then the artwork that I used for reference. We've got doors down here which come out into the courtyard area, which I imagine would be like gardens and other things, places for everybody to sit. The only difference is the trim for the wall is absolutely massive compared to everything else, which is funny. Over this side, we've got a similar setup where we've got another door that comes out into this other courtyard, which then leads around to the back of the throne room, which is using the same windows as the Judgment Hall, just to keep everything thematically correct. Same reason why everything has the Delta Rune stamped all over it, because it's a castle, it needs to be flashy. I don't know why there's not a trim here, because there should be. I have to look at that. Certain things that I need to fix, basically, because it should have that trim there, but it doesn't. Because that trim should extend everywhere. There's a door here which should lead into this area, which is also, like, this plateau here is meant to be a garden area according to the artwork. So there's lots of gardens. There's lots of windows here as well. But then obviously we've got stuff like this doorway that then leads out and goes up here. But yeah, we've got all this detail, and then we get around here and I need to do the interior of the throne room, of which is going to be really cool. I just need a door here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the doorway and the two separate parts splitting off. The idea being that there's going to be one main doorway that goes in. I'll have to explain this by actually drawing it. But it's one main door that comes in, kind of like where you come out from the Judgment Hall, then splits into two doorways, one to go into here, one to go into the basement. And the idea being that when we enter here, we've got this massive hallway that was inspired by a abbey in Wales that I think was also used for Transformers The Last Night. Everybody was saying it on stream, including me. But the idea is we're going to have a lot of vines hanging off the walls and everything, and we're going to have light shining in through the windows as usual. And we're going to have light coming in through the holes in the ceiling and some vines growing from those as well. I'm going to have all of the flowers around here and the two chairs for the throne room. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to plan on putting some sort of like Deltarune themed doorway in here. And by that I mean the amount of Deltarune motifs I've put in here is ridiculous, but I'm thinking of having a doorway like this for the exit here. The idea being that there's going to be light coming through just a little bit here. Not so much the same way as it does in the game, though, because this exit here is literally going to be right smack bang up against the cave wall. The idea being you're going to go straight out here into the wall of the cave, and you're going to have a little bit of light bouncing across the floor here, which will then light up this area just a little bit. And then we will actually walk around here. We'll be inside of the cliff face at this point, and then we'll go up this way and towards the barrier. So essentially the entire castle serves as a blockade. So when you think about it, when you come in through this, we're going to be coming out of a cave. If we came in through the barrier, we'd be coming through a small cave, turning into another cave, and then coming through here, and you're immediately in this grand hall of this castle. And it's like, okay, that's kind of strange, but if you continue going, you then have to go across all these battlements through the civilization and stuff. So the castle is there sort of as a deterrent, which is pretty nuts. But yeah, even figuring this all out was a lot of work, and it sounds stupid because it follows the map as closely as possible, but it was a lot of work just trying to logically think about how this would all fit together and, you know, how it would all make sense and be familiar to people while also giving people new details to enjoy. And no joke, when I get this thing lit up, it's probably going to be one of the best things I've modeled, primarily because of like the sense of scale and everything. I keep going on about sense of scale, but it's so important for this area in particular because you can see so much in the game. And I know a couple of people have said to me, like, dude, you don't have to model absolutely everything. You can just like do some cuts or something to make it easier on yourself. It's like, yeah, that's fair. That's a good point. But at the same time, it wouldn't be the same if we didn't have that sense of scale of, oh my god, this place is absolutely massive. Look at all the detail and everything else, you know. It wouldn't be as good if it wasn't like that. So I've got to kind of stick as closely as possible here to the source material. It's going to be fun showing everybody all these little details, though. So yeah, that's all of New Home so far in terms of like blocking it out. And I mean, really blocking it out because of all these details we've had to work on, and we've still got a bit to go. And I said I want this update out by the end of the month, which is in 4 days' time. So I'm going to be grinding probably a hell of a lot, depending, because I still have building work being done as well, or repair work to the actual house. So I've got to kind of work around that, and obviously spending time with family. At the moment, I've just been spending like ridiculous hours on this on stream and then doing a little bit later on, while also just trying to enjoy myself. But it's going to be fun getting all the textures on this today, I think, on the castle, because that won't be too hard. And then what I'll do is I'll work on the ramparts on the wall, because that'll be easy as well. And then I'll probably do the cliffs and everything. And then last, I might do the civilization properly. I'll show you the artwork that I was referencing for that. We'll just go into a new one here for the moment, so I can show you what artwork I've been referencing. And I can actually probably find the artist for it. So this is all the same artist, by the way. So we've got that, this, and most importantly that one. This is all by... Oh no, wait, there's one more that I'm missing. There we go. So I'm gonna have to credit this artist in the end credits. But as you can see here, this is also the same person that designed the resort that I ended up making, because the resort just makes sense looking like that. Because I don't think there's any other representations of the resort. Then, of course, we've got the castle above, so I've tried doing the exact same thing. You can see I've got the portcullis here, I've got the crazy sort of like balcony area above, we've got the side area that goes up and into the tower. They've got the small garden on above, which we can only just see over Asgol's shoulder there. That was the main artwork that I used for reference. Then we've got this one, which is something that has come up quite a lot, which is awesome. And this gives you a sense of scale that I really liked. So I was like, okay, I'll use this as inspiration, and that's what I'm going to do with the cliff, or the rock face at the side, as having, you know, all the gemstones in the top of the cave be visible. We'll have the light sort of beaming down on it. I might even do that whole thing of making the tops of the towers blue. But everything else is going to be like heavily desaturated. Then we've got what I was on about before, which is making New Home actually look like New Home, as in layouts and stuff. I like this sort of idea of having it be on multiple different levels with like different stairs and everything. It just makes more sense to me that way when I can actually visually see something like that, because it just looks like it will work. So I'm going to have to do a lot of like basing stuff off this, where you've got your ground floor, then you come up some stairs, you got a floor above that, and then a floor above that, then a floor above that. It's going to be interesting to model this, but what I'm thinking of doing is making like 3, maybe 5 different areas like this that have different buildings in, and then just going ahead and copying and pasting them, because that'll be a lot easier. Texturing this kind of thing, really easy though. Then we've got this one, which is a shot of a really cute version of Kara from the battlements, looking over New Home, which looks really cool. Again, same artist, so same or similar design. And then we've got another one from on top of one of the buildings of Kara and Asriel, looking out over everything. That's from the other side of New Home, by the looks of it at least. But I like the way all these buildings look consistent with what we've done at the moment, because I just more or less did guesswork. Then we got inside New Home, where that's Frisk watching Kara and Asriel go into the basement. But yeah, this is all the artwork that I've been using for reference by the same artist, and it's going to be really good putting them in the credits, but also getting New Home looking pretty much like their artwork. You know, where you can just look over it, and it's this massive, grand city that gives you a huge sense of scale and just looks really cool. So this update, when it's done, is going to be massive and lots of fun. It's already got a bunch of memes in it and everything, and lots of cool shots. So, fun times. I'm just checking Discord for a moment. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to detailing everything in the castle now. I hope everyone's enjoyed the update so far. Or rather, it's not so much of an update, but it's the you know, the chatting about how essentially everything fits together and looking at how big everything is. Like it's cool seeing everything as a work in progress, but it's gonna be even cooler when it's all done. Yeah. Just hope everybody's not being distracted too much by Jeff. So many details here. There we go. Portcullis gate. Portcullis top trim details. Portcullis side details 1. Oh. Side details 2. I just need to name everything, because if I don't, it'll screw me over. Portcullis tower L. Portcullis tower R. So yeah, fun times with this at the moment, just getting all these done, and all these little details and things. Portcullis window detail L. Portcullis window L. Portcullis stairs L. Just, all of this is going to be uniform in terms of naming. Portcullis upper trim L. Portcullis top L. Okay, so now we do that for R as well. It should be portcullis window detail R. It's gonna be good to have all of this just be done. Portcullis window R. This tower, that one is portcullis upper trim. Yeah. Portcullis upper trim. Oh no. Portcullis top trim. Oh no, wait. Upper trim R. So upper trim L should be that one. Yeah. So then we got portcullis top L. Portcullis or gate top R. And then we've got stairs, which they are stairs R. Portcullis stairs R. There we go. Naming everything here is going to be crazy, but once it's done, then I'll know exactly where everything is, and then I can just put everything into order. Portcullis upper detail 1. Oh no, let's try gate detail 1. Gate. Portcullis detail. Gate detail 2. Come on now. Portcullis gate detail 3, and then we rotate this around and do the other bits. Unless, actually, I might not need those because of where they're at. You don't really see them, so I can keep them hidden. So that's all the portcullis there, so I could technically see what these are now, and then... Oh, wait, I've still got little bits. Portcullis door out. Portcullis door up. It should be everything there now, and then all this other stuff is just random stuff. So let's take the other stuff that's not included in it and just put it as random for the moment. So we'll do castle geometry. Then we'll do a new file and just put everything in there for now. Where is it? Don't need rigid body world constraints. Interior's fine, collection 7's fine. Stone pillar, throne room, roof. Let's do... Oh. Do that, right? And then we're going to take everything that's not part of the portcullis and throw that into random for now, and then I can sort it out, because a lot of this is looking like it's going in different towers and things. Throne room window frames. That makes sense. That's all of them done. Nerb's path. Oh, that'll be for the walls. Oh my god. Okay, Delta Rune. Delta Rune emblem 1. One of like 50 probably. Delta Rune emblem 2. Delta Rune emblem 3. Now I have to go looking for all instances of the Delta Rune that I've put around. Delta Rune 4. Then make a separate file and put them all in there. I don't think there's another one over here. No, but I know there's one down below. Is that one? Delta Rune 5, I think I was up to. Yeah. That's 4, 5. The other one's going to be in here, I think. 6. I don't have 7 there. I don't think I have 8 there. Yeah, so that might be all instances of the Delta Rune. So I can just make another castle geometry file and just call it Delta Rune Emblems. Let's see. Just trying to find where they are. Castle Geometry 8, that's going to be Delta Rune Emblems. Delta. They're all in collection 5 here, so I'll just drag them over here. Now they should all be in there. Yep. So yeah, there's a lot of me messing around here and trying to get all of this sort of done. So there's going to be a lot of organizing at the moment. All the portcullis is done, so we can just hide the portcullis. This is the good thing about this now, is I can just like start hiding giant pieces of this. Castle geometry, let's... Oh, I love the way I opened Steam there for a moment. Anyway, I'm going to get going because there's a lot of stuff to do. I'll get back to you guys later on. I hope you've enjoyed, and I shall see you on the next one. Just until then, thank you for your time. I'll see you next time.